Hey guys, welcome back to the Brandon Can Win channel and yet another video on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So on December 9th, a select group of content creators were selected to play Suicide Squad early, and just last week, on January 9th, they were allowed to express their thoughts and show us their own footage from the event. Now before I get into this video, this is going to have like a lot of different parts, but I want to just shout out the following creators. Caboose, who you guys probably heard of, he's pretty big. Dakar's World, King Greek, and Podcast Now for being my favorite creators that cover Suicide Squad and really DC in general. They helped inspire me to make videos on this game because I was like, you know what, I haven't thought about making videos about this game until I've seen other people do. I was like, you know what, I want to talk about my thoughts, and look at me now at like 120 subscribers. Like, I was just celebrating 100, and holy crap, I'm like 121, 122 now. But yeah, I highly recommend you guys check out Dakar's World, King Greek, Podcast Now, and Caboose, because they post like almost daily just Suicide Squad and like I think something else too, some other game once in a while. But if you really want news like about every little thing like right on the day, I recommend checking those guys out as well. They're really great creators, and yeah, they're very inspirational when it comes to this game content in general. So yeah, shout out to them. Now throughout this video, if you're not seeing Batman footage or like trailer footage from one of the Suicide Squad games, you'll be seeing screenshots from Uncaged Games' video from time to time. So shout out to you. I'll have a link to his video in the description down below. I really haven't checked out much of his content, but I think I might dive more into it because he seems like a really cool dude. I've never seen his videos until watching these previews, and yeah, he seems really chill, seems really funny, so shout out to him too. I really do recommend you check out his video. I'm gonna let a link down below. So yeah, the reason I'm choosing his is because he played as King Shark, and after watching that footage, yeah, I'm maining King Shark, 100%. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I knew I was gonna main King Shark, but he also confirmed something that was an issue for me, which I will get into. So one thing I'm happy about, just like all these previews in general, is that I'm glad that I'm hearing a lot of people enjoying the game, or at least feeling mixed. Like, seeing the appeal, and that's something that the gaming community needs to hear, and more importantly, see. And I'm glad that WB finally let at least some people talk about their like experiences and like show off footage, which that's extra nice of them to actually let them get their own footage when they talk about the game. That's super cool of them to do. So now are my personal thoughts from what we've seen. Everything that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be totally honest. I've watched videos where people have played as Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Deadshot. I guess Harley doesn't really interest many people, which I'm actually kind of shocked about because, you know, this is the Arkhamverse we're talking about, and Harley Quinn was a big part of at least the Arkham games I played. I haven't played Origins, so I don't know how much of a part she plays in that. But, like, in all three of the Rocksteady Arkham games, she was a big part, so I'm surprised where people aren't, like, at least looking at Harley. I mean, come on. I kind of feel bad for her, Loki, even though she's a fictional character. First things first, I want to talk about Deadshot, actually. I am so sorry that I've been dunking on him. I feel like I've been kind of rude about Deadshot. Like, I don't know why I'm apologizing to fictional characters, but I guess I'm apologizing to those who wanted to main Deadshot. I was like, are you serious? He's the one that's most likely to carry guns. He's going to be the most boring. But actually watching gameplay, he actually looks like a lot of fun. So I apologize to people who wanted to play Deadshot if I hurt your feelings, because I think I clowned on Twitter a little bit, so my bad. I'm sorry. If anything, now I think, looking back on it, I think Harley is also like my least anticipated character now. I think the only thing that's really interesting about her is like how her interactions with Batman's gonna be. Now, let's get back to my boy King Shark. So I love that King Shark doesn't seem to be slow. That was really my only worry about King Shark, is that he would be very slow, considering, like, you know, he seems to be a tank. But I'm glad that's not the case. The gameplay looks great, and the jokes from the cutscenes are also hilarious. The reason I'm not showing footage, by the way, is because I want you guys to check out their videos yourselves, and, you know, hear what they have to say about everything. And also, I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to to post them on my channel. Like, I don't know. I don't want to risk my channel getting demonetized because of that. Not demonetized, like video taken down and stuff. Another thing that I loved that I saw was just the amount of customization that there is. It's like more than I thought. Like, I said this in like a past video that, you know, the customization looks really in-depth and more than I thought it was going to be, but it is way more than I thought it was going to be. It's like, oh my gosh, you're creating your own character beyond, like they said it in the Insider, and I just wasn't listening, I guess, but you literally kind of create a character within the character, and it's kind of cool. Another thing that I loved is, you know, I was very, like, confused when it came to the color swatches and, like, almost weirdly against it. I don't know why, but, you know, I gotta say, that red version of King Shark's default outfit is just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. I will say, over the last few days, there's definitely been a divide between what game journalists are saying and what creators are saying. That's something I notice a lot, actually. When it comes to games, especially controversial ones like this one is. Journalists seem to have had a more negative experience, while influencers, on the other hand, either had good things to say or were mixed. Like, there weren't too many negative things that I saw. The only negative things that I've heard from were other people who watched previews from creators that got to actually experience, you know, the event. But yeah, I value creators' opinions over journalists anytime, if I'm being honest, whether it's in gaming, you know, even movies, etc. Because at the end of the day, we're just out here telling you guys our honest thoughts, and content creators are closer to just being normal people than journalists are, you know? And sometimes I even think that, like, when it comes to gaming in general, I think that content creators probably game a lot more than, like, IGN people do. Yeah, journalists like IGN specifically, I don't like because they seem very biased sometimes to me. But, you know what, I'll talk about IGN specifically in a future video because I have my gripes with them, but I don't want to just talk about that the rest of this video. Before I go, I want to discuss one last thing, and that is being a corporate shill versus being someone who just likes a product, because this is something I've been hearing a lot, and it's getting annoying. Like, not in my comments, but just like in videos in general. I feel that people like me who are excited for the game are just being called shills because they listen to IGN, or maybe they personally think the game sucks. Like, it's their own opinion, and they want the game to fail for some weird, bizarre reason. Like, why would you want a game to fail? Like, I don't understand that necessarily. Like, if it's notorious that the people behind games, like, let's take an example, Overwatch. Overwatch, you know, there's that whole Blizzard company about, like, being creepy with employees and stuff back in the day. I stopped playing Overwatch after that because, you know, these developers, they're normal people as well, you know? And they're just doing their job, and when it comes to, like, workplace harassment, it's really gross to hear about. So, yeah, I think that in that case, then yeah, go Overwatch. I don't care about Overwatch anymore, even though I loved playing it, and I was Reaper. I just stopped playing it because, you know, I don't want to support people who treat their employees like dog shit. But, like, Rocksteady has done nothing wrong. Like, let's talk about their history for a second. Their first game was a first-person shooter. Like, their first game wasn't Batman. Like, they're mostly known for the Batman Arkham games, and yeah, just because this takes place in the Arkhamverse, I feel like people need to just, like, sit down and realize this is not a Batman story. After I've beaten Arkham Knight, that was the end of his story. This is just something that happened afterwards. He is not the main character of this story. I'm sorry that some people are upset about that, but it's just facts. This is the story of the Suicide Squad. This is their story, and that's that. And like I mentioned in my last video talking about, you know, why it's okay that the Justice League need to go, that doesn't mean that they're not going to get like their own games in the future. It's always possible. This could lead to like an Arkham multiverse or something. Or like, you know, they could be prequel games that take place before Suicide Squad. Anyways, I just want to clear something up. I am not a shill. These are my honest thoughts. Do I want the game to succeed? Yes. Do I think it looks fun? Yes. Do I think the story is interesting? Yes. But is it a perfect game? Absolutely not. There are still a lot of problems with it. But that's with like any game. Every game has its flaws. Every game has its upsides and its downsides. And it's okay to be excited for a game that a lot of people just aren't excited about. That people are hating on. But I think like the biggest problem is that people just keep comparing this with the Arkham games just because they're DC games and they're made by the same company. And it's in the same continuity. I think honestly if they made this game being its own continuity, maybe, just maybe, people would be a little bit more easy on it. But, you know, that's a discussion for another day. And those are my thoughts on, like, the previews so far. I'm glad I actually took a day or two to step back and be, like, more calm about this. Because I was actually pretty angry when it came to, like, the journalist side of things. Like, I was making fun of the IGN saying the Flash boss fight was too hard because he kept moving a lot. I feel like after hearing some people come, like specifically Jay Shockblast came out with a video saying defending IGN, like I'm more like, I get it, yeah. I can see why it would be hard to shoot the fastest man alive. I feel like maybe they got too much shit for it, but you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Those are my thoughts on the previews. What'd you guys think of the previews? Did that change your mind at all? Did it solidify anything? Are you excited for the game? Are you just not excited for the game? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, I want to know, what do you guys want me to talk about specifically when it comes to the game? Like, what do you want to hear my thoughts on when it comes to this game? Because I'm running a little low on ideas when it comes to talking about it. But I want to keep making Suicide Squad content because I enjoy talking about it, but I have like one speculation left, or maybe like two, and then I don't know. I really don't know. Talking about the third Insider episode, whenever that comes out. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when you do. And yeah, so long and good night.